Hey guys, George here, and what I'm going to bring to you today is a short discussion about scenario S16. So that's starter kit 2. Yeah, it's the last scenario of starter kit 2, and it's worth discussing because it seems to be very unbalanced. And to show you how unbalanced it is, I'm just going to give you um, the raw data. Yeah. So just give me a second. So here it is: Legio, Patria, Nostra, S16, Free French 48, Germans 27. So there's almost a 2-to-1 ratio of the French winning over the Germans. Question is, how do you win as the Germans? Well, there's a couple of things you can avoid doing in order to win, in order to improve your chances of winning. But overall, it's a very tough scenario. So I'll give you some tips on that. So first and foremost, you got to make sure you read the SSR, because there's a couple of things that can help the Germans uh, win. First and foremost, SSR1, the weather helps the defender. And chances are a few people have been playing this thing wrong. um, Here's what I mean. SSR1 says that due to rain, no smoke can be placed on all, and all units must expend 1 extra MF per elevation change up, down, unless using a paved road. So right off the bat, uh, you know that this building will be hard to, a lot harder to occupy than this one, because this one has a road leading up to it. So a unit alone may not be able to readily capture that building, uh, because it would be 5 movement points. You will need a leader to go up there, and if you expend all your movement factors to go in there, plus 1 or so, uh, that unit would have to go CX. So capturing that building would be a bit harder than this one. Hmm. Okay. The other important thing for the Germans to note is that these guys have assault fire. Now, are they SS? Let's see. Elements of Panzer Grenadier Regiment? No. But according to the SSR, you have to recall that these guys have assault fire. So 2 units, I suppose, could very well fire at 6 firepower factors as opposed to 4 in the advancing fire phase. What we're drinking tonight is Canada Dry Ginger Ale Dyed Cranberry. Uh, I decided to stay away for a while from the After Death's hot sauce. So let's play a couple of turns and talk about it while we're going on. So basically, let's zoom in a bit as well, so we can see everything, and you should be able to see my dice rolls. So basically, it's an incremental setup, and I'm going to set up on a building that is harder to take in this fashion. Now, as the Germans, I would not recommend setting up too close to the start line, because um, because with the enormous firepower that the French player has, he'll knock you right out. So right off the bat, this building is considered fortified. So clone that and put it there. Bring that counter down. And although there's not a lot of fortifications, I don't think there are any fortification rules in Starter Kit. I think it's only by SSR. What you need to know when you get to the advanced game is that fortifications can only start from the bottom up, and so when you're dealing with level 1.5 buildings, you'll have to fortify the bottom floor before you go to the next level of fortifications. Okay, so with this fellow already set up, you set up the Germans, and don't forget that your guns should be hip. And in terms of hip, um, what you need to know is that uh, orchards are concealment terrain, so um, you can use those for setting up your gun hip. So I'm gonna set them up like so, okay, and this baby like so. I'm gonna set them up hip so they cannot fire on them in the first turn. In other words, the French will have first licks. If I was playing with another player, I wouldn't know, and I wouldn't probably would have been denied to knock this guy out. Okay, so now this building is not fortified, but this building isn't fortified. You don't necessarily have to set up in the blue hex. It says set up in building P9 or O6. It doesn't say set up in building hex P9 or building hex O6. So either place would have been acceptable. Now, I might regret doing this, but basically I'm going to go head to head with Gustav in my 9-1 leader like that. Then I am going to put some conscript units here uh, because this building will be pretty easy to take out. I am going to set up an LMG here as well. My setup probably sucks. It probably sucks. And uh, ultimately, uh, I would have wanted to go the route of trying to capture this, but that would be impossible uh, given the situation of how that it would cost way too much in order for me to capture him. Now, do I want an 8 up whatever attack? Or do I want to position these guys in such a way that they'll be protecting buildings and uh, protecting uh, the advance? So let's go like that. Let's go like this. And what are we going to take? A 4 up 1 attack? Should we give them some bait? Yeah, let's go for it. Let's give some bait to these guys. Let's see what he could do to us. And now, I've got 2 leaders, and they're all set up in U, uh, south of U, north is in this direction. And the plan is cap reinforce this building and then capture 1, 2, and 3. So my Lieutenant Poirier is going to spearhead the attack there. 6 plus 2 is 8, and with assault fire, so that's one fellow. I'll be there. The second attack will be led by Lulu from the other area. See, good up here. Um, so the best way to attack this fellow here is by this direction. Mortar. We don't have any half squads. We cannot deploy in this game. So, whoa. I'll put this fellow here, like so. So no smoke can be placed, and all units must expend 1 movement factor per elevation up, down, unless using paved road. Okay, so here we go. And let's do that. Let's do this. We can always route back to here because higher ground is protected terrain, except this guy can interdict. Let's take a look. 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that ain't good. That dude there. We're going to try and force the attack here. Okie dokie. We got something set up. We should keep a log file. So I'll start an incremental log file as well. Okay, we started a log. Now we'll do some prep fire. Okay, let's put this counter up here. And they're not British, they're actually French. But hey, it is what it is. Okay, so let's go with that. Let's go to prep fire. And we'll prep fire here, but not with the 458. The 458 will try and advance. And this gives us a 6 plus 3 temp for the stone building, minus 1 for the leader, a 6 up 2. Let's see if we got the charts here. And let's roll it and see what happens. Five and right on the LMG. And they can't cower because it's leader directed. So 5 plus 2 is 7 on the 6, I believe. Yep. So 5 plus 2 is 7 on the 6, which is the normal morale check. Right there. Passes with flying colors. Not much you can do to beat that. We'll see how the first turns out. Okay, these guys are not firing. This fellow here, Otier, is going to go against Gustav at 4 up 1. Don't forget, it's a rate of 1 instead of 2 because it's captured weapon. And it breaks down 1 lower, I believe. Let's go ahead and fire and see what happens. I think it broke. Let's double check that, okay? So a captured weapon has its rate of fire lowered by 1 and its breakdown or X number lowered by 2. And a support weapon used by an inexperienced MMC has its breakdown lowered by 1. Both effects are cumulative with other penalties, so this thing is mouthed. Because I rolled a 10. And he prep fired. So much for that. Now what do we got else? What else do we have? I think ultimately Poirier can fire at this guy. Let's draw a line of sight and see what happens. Yep, and this fellow would have been out of loss. So again, a range of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the squad is halved. We got a 4 up 2. No cowering because it's leader directed. 6 plus 2 is 8 on the 4. We just missed, but we have rate, so we got a 2 up 2. 6 up 2 is 8, but we got rate. Let's do it again. Again. Now, a 5 up 2 is 7 on the 4, which is a pin toss check. We'll take that check. And he is pinned. 2 up 2 again. May have gotten that wrong. So I rolled a 5 plus 2 is 7. On the 2, it's wrong. 7 on 2 is nothing. I needed a 6. But we did get rate, so let's do it again. This time we don't have any rate, so we got nothing out of that. He prep fired. So for the shits and giggles, we're going to fire at this guy with that motor. So we need a 7 to hit. It's area target type. We did not hit. We got rate, and now we got an 8 to hit. And a -1 for the acquisition. No hit, but we do have a -2 AC. Amen. And the size should be large. And since we only have one ordnance weapon on this fellow's on this team, I'm not going to bother labeling that. I can tell who's who. With that said, we're going to go to movement, and this squad will assault move to there. Nobody's firing. This squad will assault move to here, and this squad will assault move to there. Oh God, I forgot to fire this weapon. A lot of good that will do in any case. Let's see if we have line of sight. We might have a 4 down 1 there, and we do, so we'll take a 4 down 1. 7 on the 4. It's just a pin toss check, and he's pinned. And he first fired. Okay. Now what we're going to do is non-assault movement. 1 to there, and 2, 3 to there. All right. Assault move to there. And non-assault movement 1, 2, 3. And we'll assault move to there. MMG has no choice but to assault move to here. Or should we keep him around? Should we keep him around? Yeah, let's keep him around. I forgot to fire at him, but it's all good and dandy. That said, let's go to defensive fire. Let's do an 8 up. Well, let's do an 8 up 2 there. I think both of them have line of sight. 1, 2. Range of 4. 8 up 2. Let's do it. 6 plus 2 is 8, which is unnormal. We need 2 8s. 1, 2. Both pass. And that's final fired. Doing a 4 up 3 is ridiculous. And here, we'll fire back at 6 up 2. No, 6 up 3, because it's fortified. 6 up 3. 8 on the 6. Pin toss check. They both pass. And I did not get rate. We'll do an 8 up 4. Nothing. And he'll try and see if he has line of sight to there. And he doesn't. Hits that X there, so fire. Nothing happened out of that. Yeah, question is when do I want to open fire with my my guns? And I think I'll open up right now. So on hip him, this guy will take an infantry fire equivalent, which is a 6. 6 up 4. They cower there. So there's no rate because my rate goes down by 1 because I'm using the infantry fire table equivalent. And now that doesn't give me an acquisition because I used the infantry target type. Now this guy is going to open up. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Within 8 range of 8, and I'm not using the starter kit to hit tables. I'm using my little rod charts here. Range of 8. Infantry target type was a 7 to hit. Plus 4. Plus 4 for the 10. Makes it a 3 to hit with a rate of fire of 2. No rate, but we did get a neck. So here we go. Right there. Okay, so I put a neck up there, and he final fired. Uh, so that's it for defensive fire. Let's go to advancing fire. Now, had I moved these 658s, they have assault fire. 648s. They would have had assault fire, but they don't. So advancing fire, we have a 2. Let's do 4. 4 up 3. Hardly a shot I want to do, but let's do it in any case. Haha. He advance fired. With that said, I don't think I have any more. So let's remove all moves. Let's go to route phase. We don't have any brokies on either side. Remove all the moves, remove all prep, and remove all defensive fire. We'll do at least one player turn, okay? Just to show you how everything works. Right, so now let's go to advanced phase, and he will advance to there, he will advance to there, he will advance to here. These two boys are going to stay where they are. These fellows are going to go like this. And this fellow will drag himself down there. Okay, and let's not forget an incremental save. Incremental save, yep. Alrighty then, now let's go to the German turn. Close combat, there wasn't any. And here we come to the rally phase, and I use this button here to see if there's anything broken. He cannot repair a captured weapon. So he's all by lonesome. Now, uh, there's a couple of places where I can hide and cause the player, the attacker, to worry. We'll do a little prep fire first. So an 8 even attack is pretty hard not to uh, take. So we'll take that. 8 up, nothing. We rolled 9, which is a pin task check. So this unit is going to roll a task check. Rolls a 5, passes. He prep fired. Where is he going to go? Nowhere. We'll roll up there. He's 6 up 3 again. Let's do it. He broke his LMG. Maybe I should have had some hot sauce. And he prep fired. Let's see how Harry's going to fare here. So we got there a 6 up 2. Even worse. Okay, these guys are going to move. Let's do our good old 8 up 4 against him and see what happens. Nothing. It's one of those days, guys. One of those days. He prep fired. Alright, now we got base. I believe it was at that range a base 7 to hit, plus 4 for the 10, minus 1 for the acquisition. So a 4 to hit with a rate of fire of 2. Nada. No rate, no hit. Ac is raised to a -2. Flip. And he prep fired. Now we'll take a 6 up 4 right there. This guy's broken. Okay. Let's move it to house prep fire. Let's move it to movement. This fellow will assault move to there. This guy will assault move to there. And that's the end of my movement. Right, so defensive fire. This is the most important shot, which is a 16 up 3. It's 4 plus 4 is 8, doubled for point blank fire, 16 up 3. The 10 is plus 3 for a stone building. Let's do that. 11 on the 16, which is only a pin task check. Passes. And they final fired. Now we got here a 8 up 2. Let's see what happens there. 9 on the 8. Another pin task check. 7 plus 2 is 9. Task check. Passes. Okay. We'll take a 2 up 1 there. 6, 7 on the 2 is nothing as well. He final fired. He's pinned. He shouldn't be pinned. We forgot to take off the pin. Yeah. And these guys have no target whatsoever except this fellow here. So he's 1, 2. Oh, there's a building in the way. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A 4 up 3. Let's do that. Nothing. Final fired. Now we got an 8 up 3. Just across the board. Let's see if it is an 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it's a 6 up 3. Nothing. And our acquisition is there. So now we have a 7, 8, 9 to hit. Doesn't hit. And no rate. Okay. Advancing fire. Nada. Let's go to route. Let's clean up the board. Let's clean up the def, and the prep. And the only thing we got broken are 2 support weapons and a gun. Every other fellow is up and at him. So now there is no routes. Let's go to advanced phase. We can remove that. And what do we do? What do we do here? Stick around and get a 16 up nothing attack. If we retreat, we can get a couple of 4 flats, which is really crazy. So let's go into close combat. There you go. Let's put these guys back. Let's put this fellow here. Out of curiosity, leave him here. Leave these guys here. Do they? I should have advanced up. Nah. It cost too much to get up there. Oh well. Hold your hat. Take a zip. So that's in my advanced phase. Let's go to close combat. Got one close combat there. Remove all the moves. Uh, for ambush, German rolls first. 4. Then the French Legionnaire. 4. No ambush. 1-1. German rolls first. We need a 5 or less. 1, 2. He half squads him, but they're stuck in melee. So half squad, clone, send him to the casualty bin. Don't do that. Delete and flip. So we're stuck in melee, and this is the end of player turn 1. So we'll do an incremental save. It's 30 minutes in. I mentioned a couple of points with respect to the um, importance of the SSRs and whatnot. I think the best course of action uh, for the Germans here is if um, if the Allies are foolish enough not to advance and just stick around and prep fire, trying to break everybody, is to try with your good old leader here, try to take this back and reinforce this building, while these guys fall back and try to defend against uh, uh, the advancing French players. Alternatively, your guns could have been used as well to defend these paths here somehow, right there. Anywho, um, that's my thoughts about S16. If you have any other comments, or if you played this game as the Germans and won, uh, please don't be shy to comment below. Okay, and thanks for watching. Thanks to all the new subscribers. I saw that Monty, my Sunday night partner, or Sunday late afternoon partner, player, opponent, has subscribed to the channel. So welcome aboard, Monty. Glad to have you. And we'll see you next time. Take care.